Really glad you could join me this morning. Hoping that this does the trick.
I started pooping my brains out a couple days ago.
Say that again?
I started pooping my brains out
Okay.
a couple nights ago. Puking, pooping, you know, all sorts of crazy stuff. It was brought to my attention by Veronique and her daughter Sabrina that we'll probably have a parasite going on. So she told me what to take. It's albendazole and mebendazole. She gave me the dosing, and you take them 2 weeks apart. And we're pretty sure Joel's got a parasite too because he started pooping his brains out as well.
We got our dog Lola a couple of months ago, and this is now a pretty regular thing. About once a morning we just go around and sweep up the hairs.
And to be fair, she probably doesn't shed quite as much as Joel.
Yeah, that's also true. Very true. Michael and I have been on the hard here for over 2 months. One thing we have learned is protection. Second thing is preparation. Before we start a job, we make sure we talk it through, we have all the equipment ready to go, and protection. Uncle Muri, thank you very much for this Tyvek suit. We lost some footage.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, it was totally my fault that we lost the footage of the first couple steps of our blister repair. Thought I was filming, but turns out I was just walking around with the camera open.
Right now, on all of these blisters here, we have epoxy with a layer of fiberglass and then another layer of epoxy over the top. They've been curing for 2 days now. So I'm going to use this grinder very gently and just take off all this excess stuff here. With this angle grinder and 80 grit sanding disc, I'm putting as much pressure as a butterfly landing with sore feet. The first step in repairing blisters is to locate them. We found one here, and this is what it looks like. See, when you push on it, you get the little whoop, whoop liquid inside. That's acid. So the first step after we've located it, so step 1, locate. Step 2, pop it with the chisel, and you can just dig it out and drain it. See how it's coming out there? It's just like popping a pimple. I haven't popped a pimple since I was 16. I used to have at least 30 a day to go to town on.
Gross.
Yeah. I went to the dermatologist. I tried tetracycline, Accutane, which later on in life I saw this commercial. If you've ever taken Accutane, you might have a lawsuit.
If you took Accutane and have developed an inflammatory bowel disease, contact an experienced attorney to discuss your legal options.
You could die soon, but you could make money. I was like, I remember Accutane. I took Accutane as a kid, but I never called because I didn't feel sick or anything. And honestly, all I did was dry my face out. And Proactive, by the way, I tried Proactive. You know, I think it was Tyra Banks that was this huge advocate of Proactive. That didn't work for me. It was a lot of money. My friend Max actually tried Proactive, didn't work for him either. So I don't know.
A disclaimer, no one is paying Joel to make these comments.
Well, I haven't endorsed any product. I think once I just stopped taking the products, and I stopped wearing a beanie to cover my forehead, which had just zits everywhere, and I just rocked it, and maybe had a little bit better hygiene and changed my beanie from time to time instead of wearing the same beanie every single day to hide the forehead. Whoa, not smart. No wonder why. And all the medications, they just dried my face out and made me have this like red, dry, itchy, like pilly skin on top of all the acne. Oh, no wonder why I never had a girlfriend in high school. Anyway, what are we talking about? We're doing blisters. But this is just really taking me back. I don't know if you guys can relate, but having acne, especially as a young stallion trying to go out in the world and meet a girl, it's terrible. It's absolutely embarrassing. You can't really focus. You're so self-conscious, like, oh my God, I wonder if they're thinking about my forehead. It's really bad. I wish I had my beanie right now. Yeah. Okay, so we've dug it out pretty well. So if you listen, hear that? So this is still soft. So it's this whole area here. You can see it's still a little moist. So we're going to go from pimples to cavities. This reminds me of going to the dentist, which I haven't done in a while. But this is a Dremel. It's got this cool little attachment here. You can see it. I'm not even sure what it's called exactly, but it's just roughed up, and got this speed adjustment here. And it's just like drilling out a cavity. I only want to go as deep as I have to get to the good fiberglass, and then I want to go wide. Now this brings back horrifying memories of that drill. Oh, and that smell of your teeth. Are we still rolling?
Yeah.
You know, when you're getting your cavity drilled out and you can smell your tooth and you have that high pitch. Oh, I get tingles now just thinking about it. So we're happy with the tap test. Also the delamination test. If you look, we went, looks like to the second layer of fiberglass, and it's bonded all the way around. We went a good ways out. You remember the original blister was quite small compared to this. What's my favorite thing about these Tyvek suits, you ask? The built-in booties, of course.
So now we're gonna sand. Joel got rid of most of the stuff, fiberglass on the edges, but it's still a little rough here, and we just want to smooth this out using our handy dandy, lovely, wonderful Bosch sander with a 60 grit sanding paper. And that seems to do a really nice job. So you can see just a matter of seconds, and I took it down to the hole. It's really smooth around here.
Nice work, Lola. Nice work.
Okay, so that was like hardly worth the time it took to put on this suit. That was really easy. We probably could have got it done with our little palm sanders, those finishing sanders. Joel did such a nice job with the grinder that there wasn't much for me to do.
So why are we in the bathroom right now? Well, we're just trying to get out of the wind because this stuff just goes everywhere. We're starting small this time because last time we mixed too much of this and we didn't want to waste it, so it was a little messy. So we're just doing a little bit at first to test it out. And it's all fill as far as I can tell.
And what kind of consistency are we going for?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. We switched to a plastic knife, and you can see in there, we've got it to peanut butter consistency, just a little bit. But we're ready to start scooping it on there. Spread it like some peanut butter. I went through with the butter knife, gooped it in there. Didn't look pretty. Michael's going through with the putty knife, and she's shaping it and smoothing it. And we're really glad we have the slow hardener. I think it's making a big difference on the length of time we have to work with this peanut butter thickened epoxy. There's that one there. Last week there was civil unrest here in Luperon, Dominican Republic. We shared our experience, and a commenter from South Africa felt the need to let us know that this was an isolated incident, not a big deal, you should see what they're dealing with in South Africa. And he shared a documentary that's on YouTube by the name of Farmlands. Michael and I gave it a watch, and honestly, we were totally unaware of the situation in South Africa. We also know that that was one side of the story. It's, regardless, it's absolutely chaos there. It looks like a scary place to live. Really glad you could join me this morning. Hoping that this does the trick. That was Mesho. We just bought this bike. We bought it for 150 US. There was some issues with it. We decided, rather than bother with it, take it to a local mechanic. We heard they were good and rather inexpensive. He did a total overhaul for 3,500 pesos, which is $70 US. And then the front tire went flat on our way home, so I just paid him 700 pesos, which is 14 US. He had to buy a new tube. He took it into town. He took it off, replaced it, so 14 US I thought was a good deal. So total, we've spent $84 to get the bike in fully operational condition with the oil change and all. And we paid 150, so total that's $234 for the bike. And this will make going into town a lot quicker, a lot easier. I don't know how far we'll take the bike, but just to get into town from the marina and back, it'll be valuable because we've just been walking every day, which is fine, and we'll still walk occasionally, but it's nice to have this option if you just want to make a quick run, if you need something, instead of taking a half hour to an hour. It's at least an hour just to go to town to get anything. We absolutely have to take a little time to thank our patrons. They had this idea to start an Amazon wish list, and a week later, boom!
We're just absolutely blown away. This is amazing. We got tools, we got protective gear, we got reference texts, and Lola has some chew toys that she's absolutely loving.
4 terabyte hard drive, wireless drill. Anyways, thank you. You know who you are.
We're gonna do some research.
Hey! Our false keel, which is encapsulated with plywood, was cracked when we lifted it out of the water. So our plan is to reinforce that with another layer of fiberglass. We have that fiberglass here at the marina. We also got a hold of 2 gallons of epoxy paint, PPG. That is also on site. So we are a go to move ahead with the next project. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. We'll see you next week. 5006, 5007, 5008.
These are the tales of Moab.